because it's not coffee, it's milk. I don't have very good lighting in here because it's 9 o'clock at night. I was gonna film this morning, but we had plans and we ended up being late because I'm always late for everything. If you are my friend, then you know. Don't tell me to be there at a time because I won't be there at that time. But anyway, I am back. It's 9 o'clock at night. I'm not drinking coffee. I'm drinking milk to get ready for bed. But before I do that, while I still have my makeup on, I figured I would film this. Right here, I have a 20-gallon tank. In the last video, you saw that I got a new Leopard Gecko. Right now, she is at a 10-gallon, but she is obviously way too big for a 10-gallon. So we're going to be moving her into this 20-gallon today, and this video is going to be me setting up a 20-gallon Leopard Gecko terrarium. First, you have to open it. I literally spent $70 at the reptile shop. The first thing you'll need is a solid substrate. Loose substrates aren't recommended for leopard geckos because they do have a high risk of impaction. Impaction, if you don't know, you can always Google it because I'm bad at explaining things. Impaction is when something not digestible gets stuck in their stomach. So you can use things like stones. A lot of people just use paper towels because they're easy to clean, but I don't think that's aesthetic. So I am using Zazzara green terrarium liner. It's like way too much money to be spending on a green pad, but I've used them for all of my geckos. This one might need to be trimmed. Oh. That took way too long. You take your flat substrate and you put it in the bottom of your tank. I always use this. I highly recommend it. I use it for my other leopard geckos just because I do find it's pretty easy to clean. They are machine washable, so you can throw them in the washing machine. Leopard geckos do require 3 hides. They need a warm hide, a cold hide, and a humid hide. So for this warm hide, I got the Zazzara rock den, which was again way too much for this. You just put your warm hide on whatever side you want to be the warm side. For the humid hide, I always use the rock layer. They really like having just this den with no light to be accessible, and you can lift up this upper rock if you need to find them easily, and I think that's stellar. Why do they make these things so hard to get into? What the heck? Alright, sister. Oh, it's like I can't even tell where I'm supposed to be turning. Ooh. I did it. Okay. So you have the bottom half, which you put your substrate into. You can put like sphagnum moss, peat moss, and then this is the top half. And then it just goes together like that. I choose to use Eco Earth, the coconut substrate, just because it does tend to hold a little bit more moisture. It kind of looks like dirt, so I'm using a spoon instead of just dumping it in there because I have a huge bag of this. I ordered it on Chewy, and then Chewy just sent me this giant bag, and I was like, oh, alright. So you just line the bottom of it like that. Make sure that there's enough to hold your gecko. These also make great nesting dens, like if your gecko is getting ready to lay eggs, this is the perfect humid spot. Especially since you can just lift the lid off and get the eggs out of there without bothering anybody. Heat usually takes out all the moisture in the air, so you want to place this in the middle. But I forgot to grab an actual cold hide, and I don't have any extra ones. I usually have extra ones, but I don't, so we're just gonna put this on the cool side for now. I know, you guys are gonna be like, wow, she's such a bad parent, but where to put the lid? Next, you're gonna want a water bowl. I'm just gonna use the water bowl that she already has because I also didn't grab one of those. But it's just a simple little water bowl. I think this is used for a feeding dish at one point. It's fine. I mean, it doesn't hold water for very long. To make it better, geckos do like numerous hiding spots, so you can get fake plants. This is a ficus. Well, it's a fake ficus, but it was like $4. It's like the least amount of money that I spent on anything at the shop. Oh, and this one was easy to open. Neat. Okay, so here's your fake ficus. And I did get the one that just suctions to the side of your terrarium. So This is just your basic leopard gecko setup. It is recommended to use heating pads, which this tank actually has a gap underneath it to put a pad in, but I didn't grab a pad because, like I said, I spent $70 and buying a heating pad would just add $20 more, and then you need a thermostat and that's like another $20. So I did get a light. I actually use the night black lights because if you use a red bulb, leopard geckos can still see the bulb, it's just red. So they never know when it's nighttime. You will notice that my ball python does have a red bulb because that is just the highest wattage that I can get. She's also not switched over, and then that one's being switched over. Your standard night black bulb will look like this. I do get 100 watts because leopard geckos need to be about 90 degrees on the hot side, probably about 76 to 80 some odd degrees on the cold side. This is just your basic setup to make your leopard gecko happy. Things to remember: warm hide, cold hide, humid hide, but if you don't have a cold hide, you could put your humid hide on the cold side. You always need a watering dish. Some people recommend putting a dish of calcium, but as I said in my last video, I did have a gecko come down with MBD from not using that dish of calcium, so for now I'm going to skip that step. Eventually I will be putting in a dish of feeding worms in here whenever I start breeding her. Breeding geckos do need constant food to just eat whenever they're choosing, but you can still monitor that by counting how many they ate. I did put the plant in here just to give it a little bit of look, I guess, and it gives another hiding place just for her to sit back here if she chooses to. This is what it will look like. To say that my last video did get quite amount of love for being a first YouTube video ever. I got close to 100 views. Another thing I did forget to mention is that you do have to mist your humid hides fairly often. I would say once a week, just to get that humidity in there. They will dry up if you don't mist them. I am pretty excited to see what's next. A couple of friends and I are going to a reptile expo tomorrow down south, so maybe I'll film that.